Hello again, everyone. I've got another woodware stamp here. It looks to me just like a Francoise Reed, but as far as I can see, there's no acknowledgement. It does say FR FRS 711. Perhaps the FR is for Francoise Reed, but she's got no acknowledgement on there, but it looks like her design to me. So what I want to do with this one is similar to what I did with the little Christmas tree the other day. I'm going to stamp it, colour it, and then I'm going to cut it apart. I'm going to cut his legs off and stick his legs down, and then I want to have his top part that it could wobble a little bit. There's a lovely sentiment here, says have a very cosy Christmas. So I thought that was lovely. So that's the sentiment I fancy. But the other ones are all I want for Christmas is maybe a jumper. Have a very holly jolly Christmas. So this is the one I fancy, the cosy Christmas. So I'm going to stamp in VersaFine Clair and clear emboss. I've got my embossing powder kind of handy, so let's just have a go, see how we get on. Isn't he lovely? I find this, with lots of times, because I'm, not an inconsiderable size, and when you go up in the sizes, they seem to make everything long, sleeves that come down to the floor, and I don't know, they think you're giant rather than just plump, shall we say. Right, let's just get a bit of embossing powder on this. There we go. So I'll just emboss that. The embossing is twofold, really. One, it stops the ink from smearing if you touch it with an alcohol pen, which this ink will. And two, the raised bit of the embossing forms a bit of a barrier so that, your colouring is slightly more self-contained. So I'll just heat set this now. So he's all heat set now, so I'm going to colour him in, and I'm going to make him a brown bear, I think. Well, tan, teddy sort of colour. Do you know, this is so obvious and I didn't notice it. I've been looking here every time I've used one of these pens to see the picture of which nib is which end. And I thought, every time I have to do it. And somebody said to me, there's a grey mark on the brush end. Never noticed. I call I think of myself as being kind of observant, really. Didn't see it at all. Not at all. So thank you, whoever told me that, because that was really useful. Really useful. I'm going to start with those today. I don't know what we're going to do. I've just got a few sort of tannish colours. So, I think I will do the darker one first. I quite like doing that, because otherwise I go back over and then it gets saturated. Do you know, and I'm still used to looking at the pictures. Must look for the grey line. It's just so simple. I don't know. He's got a jolly face, hasn't he? Such a jolly bear. I love these drawings. They're so whimsical. Just love them. Right, this one was E260. It's called Leather. This one is E110, and it's called Dark Suntan. So our Ted's going to have a dark suntan, bless him. Put a little bit of shading on that inner ear there. Round to the next bit. We'll just blend these two together. Oh, I've gone onto his jumper a bit there. Wasn't very clever, Christine. Right, and the lightest of the three Oh no, that's not the one I wanted. 220, this is the one I wanted. That one I had there was the pink one for the cheeks. 260. Dark suntan and sand, that's it. Okay. I'll just blend that in there. There we go. Now I need to do, I think I need a bit darker actually. Let's have a bit more of the middle colour, dark suntan. That's better. There we go. Right, now the bottom half of him, his legs. We're still looking at the label, just it's habit, isn't it? You get used to doing these things. Just in the places where there'd be kind of shadows. Blend these in together. These pens do blend beautifully, absolutely beautifully. There we go. I'd like some more of the middle colour on actually. It's a warmer sort of colour than that one I chose for the lightest one. Don't know that I would use that one again, but with these two anyway. Gone slightly over the line there, but I'm not bothered because I'm going to cut this out. That's why I was being a little bit hasty, perhaps. Right, now then, that's the browny, tanny sort of colours. I've got some red, I've got some green, I've got some yellow, and I've got a grey. The grey's just for a bit of shading. So let's just do the grey on his hat. I'm going to give him a little white fur trimmed hat. There we go. So now we'll put some red onto that. Oops, didn't look at all. Let's just do that much. I'll finish his hat first and then go down to his sweater. We call them jumpers. A Christmas jumper, we say, the ones with all the fancy patterns on. But a jumper in America is like a pinafore dress, isn't it? It's all, you know, different. Right, I think I'll give him a red collar. Let's do a red collar and then we'll work down his sweater and see what colours we put where. Okay. Just a little bit of shading where we think the shadows will fall, where the creases are going to be. There we go. Let's colour the rest of this in. two to blend together. I'm going to put a bit of a line around the middle. I think there's a bit of a crease there. Okay. Right, that's okay. Right, what shall we have next? Come down. Let's have green. Let's have green. We'll do the top part of his sleeves and the first stripe. Okay, let's do the top part of his sleeve and this first stripe. There we go. This one is GY2, and with it I have got GY1. There we are. Mix really nicely, these two. There we are. What should we have next? Should we have the red or the yellow? Let's have a yellow. I've got Y070 and Y3. Barium yellow and acid yellow. Oh my goodness. I'm not quite sure which is which. There we go. Quite a nice bright one though. There we are. What should we do next? I think as he's got a red collar, I'll do red on the cuffs. So let me do his cuffs next. The rib. Then I think I'll do that middle stripe red, then yellow and green. I think I'll do it like that. I hadn't really thought much about this, to be honest. Hope my head doesn't get in the way. Right, let's do the green next to the rib. I put the wrong one there. I put the lighter one. And I think we leave the middle stripe white. So I'm just going to put a bit of grey shading in it. There we go. So he's ready to be cut out. I'm going to cut all round him, and then I'm going to cut his legs off, poor soul. Right, here we go. I'm just going to trim this down first of all. Don't want a huge piece as I'm going around. I'll do his legs first. Let me just cut his legs off. Okay, there's his legs. Now I'll cut the rest of him. Right, now there's a few little places that need a bit of a touch up. I've noticed as I was going around, there's a little bit of red missing here. And some of the places, let's just go, there we go. Some of the places on the edge are, this looks like a little bit of white showing, and there's a bit of yellow missing here and here. So I think the rest looks reasonable. So I'm going to use a black one, a black marker, and just go around the edge. Can you see here? It looks a bit, whoops, a bit white. See? Just go around the edge. And where I cut the legs off there, it looks like it's missing totally, so I'm just going to put a black line in there. Okay. I think the rest is pretty much okay, actually. There we are. Okay. It probably needs a bit of shape. Okay, so my plan is to put him on a card front, on a panel, stick his legs down and put his body onto a wobbler. Okay, we're a bit wobbling mad at the moment, aren't we? But I just got so many of the things, and it's such fun. And for Christmas cards, I think, you know, ideal. Even adults, I think, would like something like this rather than, you know, serious stuff all the time. Okay, what size? I think we could do a 5x7 card. Where's my sentiment? I would like to have a very cozy Christmas. That's the one there. Just wondering whether to put him into it looks a bit funny there with his with that bit of his arm cut off, doesn't it? Do you know what I'm going to do? I think I'm going to just smooth that out a bit, like this, so it doesn't look quite so angular, and then just do a black line round it, just to, I can't cut that side, I need to see what I'm doing. Oh, it's awkward, this. I'm going to have to go this way. Let's just put the back line in. It doesn't look quite so awkward. Yeah, I think that's a bit better. I didn't like the angular bit where he was cut from there. If he was joined, it would be different, but he's not going to be joined. All right, let's cut a panel and then just wonder what to do with the background. I think what I may do is to just emboss part way down. Let me cut a panel. Okay, I've cut a panel for him, and I found my snow embossing folder, which was a great joy to me. And I was thinking I could put him on some snow, a bit like that. Just emboss part way down, then have a smooth bit at the bottom to put the sentiment on. Let's do that. Right. I do say right an awful lot. I should stop. Put that on there, embossing plate on top, and away we go. There we go, just part way down. Nice. So if he goes onto there like that, I do the centre. Let me just stamp the sentiment. I've got a bit of leftovers here, so let's do it on this. This is from what I'm going to cut this out to make something of this as well. It's going to be so simple. This the one, Have a Cozy Christmas. Right, block. And as that is heat embossed, I will heat emboss this as well. Just look at that, first time stamping. It's brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Obviously good stamp, good ink. I'll just heat set this now. Really shiny, it's lovely. Now, that goes onto a card base. He's going to go onto a wobbler. Let me stick these down. Stick the legs down. I think I'll just give them a little bit of shape. I think what I'll do with that, 2 tiny bits of foam tape and glue at the sides. I think that might do the trick. This is just skinny foam tape. Skinny in width and skinny in depth as well. Oh dear. Right, put some glue on the bits that I want to stick down to the card. Just on these edges here. A bit down the middle. And down this edge here. And his toe. There we are. Now I'll take the backing off. Okay, and we'll put him down just about, just a tad above the line. I think he'll be fine there. Okay. Now he's going to have a wobbler. I will shape him a little bit first as well. And we'll come down his arm. There we go. I think the wobbler's going to have to go about there. Right. It's one thing getting them out the packet, it's another thing getting the backing off. Get this underneath here, that's right. Okay. Now, works best if you get it absolutely central. And the other thing I've discovered too is that, you know, when years ago there used to be sort of ice dance shows, and towards the end they'd have kind of the equivalent of the Tiller Girls, and they do one of these big rotating lines where one half's facing one way, the other facing the other, and they go around, and the people on the edge are going around like crazy, and the people in the middle are just about marking time. Well, that's the thing with this. If you have a small wobbler, you don't kind of get much effect, but if you have a larger one, the wobble is much more obvious. So I think this one should work quite well. The small Santa I did the other day didn't seem to do kind of as much, but I'm sure that was because it wasn't much wider than the wobbler. So this one we should get we should get quite a good wobble on, I think. Let's see. I want it to be just so it just kind of covers his legs about there. Okay. Ooh, it's cold. You see, a big one, you get a really big effect. Small one, you just get a little bit. So that's got to go onto a card base. This needs cutting out, and we'll put that across there. And I think that's going to be kind of it, because people aren't going to be bothered about anything else except making the blessed thing have a little wobble. Here I've got my little sentiment. I've put some tape on the back, and we'll pop that on there. Have a very cosy Christmas. So that's got to go onto a base. So to make my card base, I'm going to do 10 inches this way. And 7 inches this way. And I'm not going to score my card on the trimmer. I could do, but I find using something with a corner so much more useful. So this is the one I use for imperial measures. I find if I've got something to push it up against, I can get it far more accurately creased than I can if I just try and do it on the desk without any guide or anything like that. So there we go. Have a very cosy Christmas. Ooh. Probably should put the brr on this one too. There we go. Another Christmas card done and dusted. Thanks for joining me, and come back and join me very soon.